and basically untouched, all original, beat on for how many years, and we're just gonna try to get it running. Slide in the carb is seized. She's sloppy. You leave stuff sit and stuff gets junk. Pushing in this, what I believe to be 1985 200X, that at one point didn't run good, and then I got it running good because I set the timing, but then it quit running good. So we're going to diagnose it and try to get running again, and I think it's going to be a somewhat common thing for something this old. I'm thinking the timing chain skipped again on the cam, and I just didn't have the tool last time to tighten it up. So we're gonna look into that, see if we can get this thing running. But this thing's like all original as far as I can see. Basically tells 85 by the blue seat, blue tank covers, blue fork shrouds, all original. It's got some nice tires on it. It's got some 20-inch tires on the rear, stock exhaust. So it looks like the rear master cylinder is junk. Kind of how mine was when I bought it. Front brake seems to work. See how the clutch is. Oh man, I don't know what that is.
A little tight.
Clutch is tight. Headlight's a little broken, but
yeah.
I mean, definitely worth fixing. And basically untouched, all original, beat on for how many years, and we're just gonna try to get running. See if it kicks over. It turns over. I cleaned the carb last time I dealt with this thing, and then we had it running good, and then it started running like crap again. So we're just gonna make sure the timing chain didn't jump. So basically I'm gonna show you guys how to maintain your timing chain. The factory system doesn't work the best, but there is a different method to use to tighten your timing chain. The D-Ray Smith method off of YouTube. Yeah, we're gonna try that and see if we can get it running. The pulse generator's hanging out of it. That could be a problem. No, they probably took it apart trying to diagnose the spark. My buddy's been trying to get her dialed, but man, he just doesn't have the knowledge of us guys.
Nope.
We're gonna get her dialed.
Need some three-wheeler experts to get in there, get her dialed in right.
That's supposed to sit there, and this spins. This is your timing advance. Looks like it returns well, so the springs are working. But we're basically gonna pop all this off, put it at top dead center on the crank, and make sure that the timing that the cam is lined up how it should be. Just to verify timing first. So we can already see a major problem. So on this flywheel, if we had this cover off, on the outer edge of the flywheel, you would see a F mark, and then on the T mark is top dead center. But if you're looking at it through this hole, there's gonna be two dots. That first one is for your ignition, to line up your pulse generator for your ignition. That's 10 degrees before top dead center, I believe. But the mark after is top dead center. And when you're setting your camshaft timing, you want it at top dead center. So we are not even at that point yet. I gotta rotate the motor over a little bit. And look at where the camshaft is at. This circle is supposed to be straight up and down, basically lined up with this notch. And it's already too far advanced. So when we crank this over a little bit more, it's gonna be way too advanced. And look at the timing chain slop. She is sloppy, so I can guarantee that this thing jumped at least 1 to 2 teeth advance. So we're gonna line it up. We're gonna take the plug out so it's a little bit easier to rotate the motor. We got 18 millimeter. What? Plug's already loose. Alright, just gonna turn this over at the kicker.
Oh, too much.
Too much. Well, we can put her in gear and roll backwards. We lined up the timing arcs, and the cam is lined up good, but the timing chain is so sloppy right now. It is bad. So we're going to show you guys how to tighten it up. Normally you crack this bolt and you tighten this with a 14 mil while it's running, but usually they get stuck and seized. So you take this bolt all the way out, and then you grab a M3 nut
by one.
by one, a little tiny bolt. So basically this goes down and it bolts to the bottom of the timing chain, and then the top of the timing chain is held in, or the guide is held in by this bolt. So when you pull up on this bolt, it pushes the timing chain out, and it puts more tension on the chain. We're just gonna get it snug. You can do this while it's running, and if you do it too tight while it's running, you can almost snub out the motor. So you don't want to go too tight. We're just gonna snug it up and then kick it over once we get fuel and see if it'll start. So we can see the timing chain guide right here is not even bolted in. So possibly this bolt snapped or the timing chain guide broke. The bolt is good, so we're just gonna grab a screwdriver and pry it back down to where it should be. Yep. There we go. So I don't know how the timing chain bolt popped out. Unless the timing chain guide is broke, but maybe someone loosened this up on accident.
Someone was messing with it.
Someone was messing with it.
Yeah. How's it look right now? Kind of tight.
I feel like I'm stripping it, but it's good. Okay. So now we're gonna tighten it up. So
pull up.
If you can see, when I pull up on this chain,
tight.
So this is loose, and this is tighter. I need pliers to pull up on it, but all right. So we realized we weren't on the compression stroke, so we got it on the compression stroke. Now we're checking the valves, and exhaust a little bit loose. We don't have feeler gauges. We're just gonna do it by feel. But the intake valve is tight, very tight. So we're gonna loosen up the 10 mil bolt.
Yeah, it's a little tight.
Try not to strip her. Okay, got it loose. You basically want it to be to where there is slop, but it's not loud. Like, you can feel slop, but it's not like making noise. If it's making this noise, it's a little bit too loose. So almost like right here.
Yeah, it looks pretty good.
Thing is, when you tighten this jam nut down, this is really hard to do on the Shark when I set the valves, because when you tighten the bolt down, the stud moves, and it's just a pain in the butt to tighten. But I have this tool to hold down the set screw while you tighten this down, so it shouldn't move too much. Tighten that down. That's a little bit loose. I'm gonna go a little tighter. But just for the first start, we're gonna get it close, and if they're too loose, you can always tighten them up again. Three-wheeler tech. All right, we got the valve set, and while we're doing that, I blipped the throttle, and I couldn't even blip it. It was locked solid. So I'm like, oh my God. So I unloosened this, and it was very stuck in here. I still have to get it out, but this is why you don't leave stuff outside. Stuff just gets seized up. Slide in the carb is seized.
Look at that.
I'm gonna put pliers on it.
Look at all that corrosion.
Do as they say, not as they do.
Look at all that.
So like this, how it should be, and she sees. So we're gonna clean that up. And actually, I might take the carb off just to clean it up, because who knows? It's probably all cruddy. You leave stuff sit, and stuff gets junk.
Yep. How it is.
So I took the carb apart, and while I was draining the bowl, some water came out of it. We got some gunk all up in here, some white residue on here. Pilot jet's full of some white residue, some basically water mixed in with the gas, so we're gonna blow her out. Oh my God, gross. It's dumping on the pavement. Blow out on the orifices. I took the needle and seat out. Blow out the pilot jet passages. Get that all on your hands without gloves.
That's good for him. Cleans them at the same time.
Already got the valve set. We got the carbs clean. We didn't spray gas in it or anything. We're just gonna try to start it. We changed timing a little.
A little too much timing, maybe?
Runs good. A little bit cold, but yeah, we got a head gasket leak. Just got the primal good. It runs slow. Timing was on, but it was so sloppy. Don't worry about that. So we have there's also oil leak on our side. I don't know, it didn't rev that crispy. It might need some carb tuning, but
the head gasket.
head gasket, you know, you're getting the wrong vacuum pulses and the carb just wow. We have oil leak.
Yep.
So I don't know, it needs some fine tuning.
But the head gasket.
I can try to start at the end.
Is the gas
Yeah.
off?
Yeah, it was off.
That might help. Alright, yeah, let's see if it starts now. But the head gasket.
Head gasket, you know.